Hello and welcome back to Doctor Who in Mind. I'm Stephen, I'm a Doctor Who fan, and I'm also a depression sufferer, and those are the two subjects I cover in these vlogs. But right now, I am also an ear infection sufferer. I've currently got an ear infection in my left ear. It is clearing up nicely, but I'm having to spray this Otomize into it 3 times a day for 5 days, and it also means I've been off work a few days because I work in the food industry. So obviously an ear infection, all this horrible stuff seeping out of my ear. I'm a biohazard, so I can't be at work. But anyway, I'll be going back in a few days. It is getting better. At the moment, I've just got the swelling, really, which also needs to go down because another thing I have to do at work is wear these little ear defender earplugs. Well, I mean, I can't get it into my ear at the moment. But anyway, it's what day is it? You see, I've lost track of days with not going to work. It's Sunday morning as I'm recording this. You'll see this Tuesday afternoon, and by the day after Wednesday, I'll be back at work. But anyway, what I want to talk about in the mental health section of my vlog today is the impact that unexpected setbacks, any kind of big or small unexpected setbacks, can have on my mental health. Because I was doing okay, just having a normal week. I had a lovely day on Thursday actually. I met my mum for lunch in town. We had a nice lunch together. I was feeling a bit tired, but I thought it was just because of the heat, and I'd not been sleeping too well again because of the heat. I thought. But then when I got home Thursday afternoon, well, into Thursday evening, I started to feel really tired. So I went and had a nap, and when I woke up, my ear was oozing the most unpleasant gunge. So I knew I couldn't go into work the next day, so I had to phone in sick. And then, of course, I phoned my GP. I had quickly got a telephone appointment, and they prescribed me this stuff. Thank goodness. But anyway, when something like this happens to me, if I suddenly get ill or have some kind of setback or get thrown off my routine, it doesn't do my mental health any good at all. So I'll be honest with you, I've spent most of the last 2 days hiding under the duvet, both in some points in a literal sense, but sometimes more in a figurative sense, just hiding away from the world. Sometimes feeling a bit like a bear with a sore head and feeling really down. And also, when I can't get into work, I feel really guilty about it as well. I feel guilty about not being there, which I know is a stupid thing to think because I can't be there in this condition. Like I say, I would be a biohazard. They would not let me in if I turned up with my ear seeping pus. I would be sent home in short order. But nonetheless, it makes me feel bad, and so I've been moping about the house, feeling pretty awful. So I decided I'd try and cheer myself up a bit by making this video. And this is probably the most down I'll ever actually appear on one of these videos because I like to record them when I'm feeling, you know, a bit more level. I'll admit I'm feeling a bit down at the moment, so hopefully doing this will perk me up a bit. Anyway, that's my situation right now, and now I think we'll get to the bit that most of you've come here for, probably the Doctor Who discussion. So, here we go. Oh, it's time to talk about Doctor Who. I've got the Doctor in my hat. I'll have to stay very, very, very still, or the fall out and go splat. Let's fix them a bit more securely then, and let's get on with this. Okay, well today, just that so we can see the Doctor. Today, we're talking about the 1988 season 25 finale, the greatest show in the galaxy. Right, a bit of housekeeping to get out of the way. Seeing as this is the first McCoy story that's come up, I'm going to be honest with you all. The McCoy era of Doctor Who is far, far, far from being my favourite. Even though it was sort of the era I watched most when I was a teenager, having seen all that's gone before it since and all that's come after it since, I have to say that it's just my least favourite era of the whole run of the show. I mean, indeed, last time that I did a full watch through of classic Doctor Who in order, I stopped at the end of Colin Baker. I didn't even bother watching the McCoy episodes. Sorry, I'm just not a big fan. Now, this is not entirely down to Sylvester McCoy or what was shown at that time. I think the well has been poisoned for me in other ways. And I'll explain what I mean. When Doctor Who got cancelled in 1989, there was no New Who until 1991, when Virgin started publishing the new Doctor Who Adventures. Or Doctor Who The New Adventures, I think they were billed as rather. But anyway, these were published between 1991 and 1997. And they featured the Seventh Doctor, and for the good proportion of it, Ace. And they just got further and further and further away from what I felt was Doctor Who. They started off okay, but the Doctor turned into such an unpleasant character. They just took all the worst aspects of the McCoy Doctor and didn't keep any of the good ones. So it became super manipulative, sinister, almost malevolent, and really, in the end, I was cheering on the so-called villains because I mean, I tell you what, my brother read these as well. He didn't stick with them all the way through. He gave up before I did. I just kept buying these things because of the Doctor Who logo on them. And I just kept hoping upon hoping they'd get better. But they didn't. And my brother watches this vlog, so if what I'm saying is inaccurate, I hope he'll correct me. But I remember him saying to me about these books that they've got a character called the Doctor in them, but it isn't the Doctor. And I couldn't put it better myself. And unfortunately, these books, and I'm not picking on these two in particular. These are just two that came to hand. I've actually only got about half a dozen of them left. I did sell most of them, but I'm just holding these two up as representative. Anyway, these things polluted the McCoy well for me, and I find it very hard to watch the McCoy episodes now with a clean slate. I still think of this crap. But anyway, I'm going to do my best. Because in actual fact, The Greatest Show in the Galaxy is not at all a bad story. It's quite visually appealing. It's got some interesting characters. And I'll come on to those a bit later. But first, a bit of context. Doctor Who in 1988, of course, had been relegated to a weekday slot opposite the all-conquering Coronation Street. And no secret, the BBC wanted to kill the show off. They eventually did. It only lasted one more season after this. Because the thing about, I can't remember whether these went out on the Monday or the Wednesday, one or the other. Cause, I think Coronation Street was still, it may have just gone to 3 days a week, but it was either, may have still been only on 2 days a week. But anyway, back in 1988, Coronation Street could pull in audiences of 12 to 18 million without even trying, and that's what it was getting against Doctor Who, which was in opposition to Coronation Street struggling to hit 5 million. Although British Show in the Galaxy did average a bit higher than that, not least because 6.6 million watched episode 4 of British Show in the Galaxy, which is actually the highest rated McCoy episode of his entire run. But anyway, the problem was that on 7:30 Monday and Wednesday in the UK in 1988, everybody watched Coronation Street. People didn't go and look at the TV guide to see what was on at 7:30. You just automatically think 7:30, ITV, Coronation Street. So Doctor Who wasn't even being considered as an option by a lot of people because they weren't even looking at the TV guides to see what was up against Coronation Street. Everybody watched Coronation Street. It's as simple as that. But having said that, it wasn't a complete ratings disaster for Doctor Who. I mean, people talk about a ratings fall with this move to the weekday, but actually the ratings fall happened in Colin Baker's last season. And the McCoy era, by and large, had the same viewing figures as Colin Baker's last season, which was when the actual drop-off happened. Anyway, that's all by the by. Greatest Show in the Galaxy. It's bright, it's colourful, there's some good characters. For me, my favourite character in this is Mags, the werewolf, played by Jessica Martin, who was actually, I mean, she was huge on British television at the time. I think she was best known as an impressionist and a comedian. I think she did some of the voices on Spitting Image at the time. And I believe Greatest Show in the Galaxy was her first straight acting role, if you can count playing an alien werewolf as a straight acting role. But and there, McCoy's annoyed with what I've been saying about his era, so he jumps out the hat. But yeah, a great character, and she was paired up in this episode with T.P. McKenna, who was playing Captain Cook. And having watched the episodes again last night, oh my goodness, what a dreadfully hammy performance T.P. McKenna gave. It's just excruciating. And that's one of the problems I have with the McCoy. It's just so uneven. And some people come in and give wonderful performances, and others just come in and completely ham it up because at that point Doctor Who is just not being taken seriously. And if perhaps the worst offence in this episode is the character WizKid, who is there. Is your fanboy, okay? He comes in. He wants to visit the Psychic Circus in it. He's been a long time fan, even though it's not as good as it used to be. And that's a sort of jab at Doctor Who fans at the time, who were largely sort of had this image as being sort of anorak wearing teenage boy nerds who were still harping on about the glory days of the past, which they'd never even seen. And I mean, I was a teenage boy at the time, and yeah, a lot of my own attitude to the past of the show was shaped by the Target novelisations. And so maybe I saw past episodes through those colour spectacles myself. I don't know. But, you know, the last thing the show needed to do at that point was make fun of its own fans. That's just not a good thing to do. But anyway, overall, I quite like The Greatest Show in the Galaxy. I think it's one of the strongest stories, and not least because it immediately follows the complete and utter mess, disaster, catastrophe that was the alleged 25th anniversary special Silver Nemesis. And my goodness, when we get to that one, I'll be lifting it a new one. And my brother has committed himself to being a guest presenter with me when we get to Silver Nemesis, because I know he's got a few things to say about that one as well. I mean, also, I hope he'll come on at some other point and talk about an episode that he likes. I hope we can, get together and discuss an episode we both like sometime. But whenever Silver Nemesis comes on, my brother will be coming on, and between us, we shall tear it to shreds. Fair warning, we don't like it. Nobody likes it, do they? No, hands up if you like Silver Nemesis. Okay, if you put your hands up, I forgive you. We all like different things. No, I don't forgive you. I don't need to forgive you. I mean, it's a perfectly respectable opinion. We all like different stories. Every story is somebody's favourite story. And we all need to remember that. Especially in the light of the sort of thumbs down I was getting from some of the Jodie Whittaker haters when I failed to hate her. Sorry. Like Jodie Whittaker, not so keen on McCoy either. Just the way it is. Okay, so I'll take McCoy out of my hat, and now it's time to see what I talk about next week. So here we are, we've got the number wheel. There are 291 options left on it, so let's see what I get to talk about next. I missed. I missed. Okay, got it that time. And today's number is, can you see that? 236. Well, that's definitely going to be 21st century. 236 is... Okay. It's time for a bit of Matt Smith next time, and I'll be talking about Nightmare in Silver. So I'll see you then. But meanwhile, please like, please subscribe, please comment, please tell your friends, and please tell my friends. See you next time. Bye.